This is the story of the Get-Along Gang and the missing caboose. You can read along with me in your book. You will know it is time to turn the page when you hear the chimes ring like this. Let's begin now. One summer day in Green Meadow, the Get-Along Gang was drinking lemonade in Hoofnagel's ice cream emporium. Montgomery Moose, the gang's leader, stood up.
Boy, it's hot today. Let's go swimming.
Everyone agreed that was a terrific idea. Outside Hoofnagel's, the gang ran into Ketchum Crocodile. He gave them a sly smile.
Hey, you guys going to your dumb old clubhouse?
Rocco Rabbit, the toughest member of the gang, faced Ketchum.
Yeah, what's it to you?
The wily crocodile didn't answer. He just chuckled and walked away. Rocco frowned.
I don't like this. Ketchum looked too happy, and that usually means trouble.
But the gang forgot about Ketchum as they hurried to their clubhouse. The clubhouse was a little red caboose that stood on abandoned tracks at the edge of town. But when the gang reached the spot where the caboose should have been, it was nowhere to be seen. In its place was a note to Bingo from Ketchum. Bingo read the note aloud.
Dear Bingo Bet-It-All Beaver, you lost the bet. I won, so I get the pot-bellied stove. The stove was inside the caboose, so I took the caboose. Ketchum C.
Little Portia Porcupine began to cry.
Oh, Bingo, why did you make a bet with Ketchum? Now we've lost the clubhouse.
Bingo felt miserable.
I'm sorry, Portia. I'll go tell Ketchum that he can't have the clubhouse. I only bet him the stove.
Wilma Lamb fussed with her curls.
That crude crocodile. My comb and brush were in the clubhouse and I look a fright. What were Bingo and Ketchum betting about anyway?
Rocco puffed out his chest.
That doesn't matter. What matters is getting the clubhouse back, and I'm the one to do it.
No, I think we should have Officer Growler arrest Ketchum.
Montgomery spoke up.
Everyone, we need a plan.
The gang sat down to listen to Montgomery.
Ketchum probably had the swamp rats pull our caboose onto the tracks in Gummyfoot Swamp, so that's where we're going.
Bingo spoke up sadly.
There are miles of track in the swamp. I bet we'll never find it. I bet we will, if we stick together.
Montgomery sent Bernice Bear off to find Dottie Dog, and he asked Rocco to find the rope and some whistles.
If anyone gets lost, they can whistle for help.
At the same time, deep in Gummyfoot, Ketchum and the swamp rats had rolled the little red caboose to the edge of the big bog. The big bog was the biggest, deepest mud hole in the swamp. Soon the rats were busy hiding the caboose with plants and vines. Ketchum leaned out of the caboose and examined their work.
More vines, more slime, more camouflage for my new hideaway. If the Get-Along Gang ever gets this far, I want them to walk right by without seeing it.
Inside the caboose, Ketchum paced nervously. He poked a finger at his friend, Leland Lizard.
Are you sure you checked along the tracks leading to here? I don't want any clues for our Get-Along Gang friends to find when they come looking for the caboose.
Oh, sure, boss. I checked. They'll never find us.
Meanwhile, the Get-Along Gang walked down the tracks into the swamp. Soon they came to a place where the tracks split in two. Which was the right way? Breaker Turtle walked up and down each track slowly.
The weeds on the tracks to the right are all squashed and bent. I'd say our clubhouse went that way.
The gang followed him. Before long, they came to another place where the tracks split in two. Breaker scratched his head.
The caboose couldn't have rolled to the right. There's a big rock there. We should go to the left.
Just then, Wilma spotted something.
Look, next to the rock. there's one of my new hair ribbons. It must have fallen out when the caboose went by. I think the rats put the rock here to trick us. Let's go down these tracks.
Wilma's right. Let's go this way, gang.
Montgomery led them around the rock and down the track on toward the big bog. Finally, the gang came around the last bend before the big bog. They saw the caboose dead ahead. Bingo gave an excited shout.
Hey, that's ours, Ketchum. Give it back.
The gang raced down the tracks toward their beloved clubhouse. The swamp rats saw the get-along gang charging toward them and began to scurry away. But Ketchum jumped out of the caboose and yelled at them.
Stop, you ratty rodents! Grab hold and pull this red hunk of junk off the track and into the bog. It's partly mine, and if I can't have it, no one can.
Montgomery ran to one end of the caboose and tied on the rope he'd been carrying.
Okay, everybody, grab hold and pull!
The rats grabbed the other end of the caboose and pulled in the opposite direction. It was a war. The gang was strong, but the rats were stronger. The caboose inched toward the bog. Montgomery saw they were losing the battle. He grabbed his whistle.
Quick, everyone, blow your whistles. Maybe Dottie and Bernice will hear us.
The gang blew their whistles as loudly as they could. But no one came. Ketchum called from the other end of the caboose.
Sorry, Montgomery, but it's no help to whistle while you work.
Suddenly, Dottie Dog, Bernice, and Officer Growler appeared. The caboose teetered at the end of the tracks as Dottie and the others grabbed the rope.
Hold on, gang. We're here now. When I say pull, really pull. All together now. 1, 2, 3, pull!
The gang pulled with all its might. Suddenly, the caboose jerked to a halt. The swamp rats lost their grip and fell backward into the bog. Officer Growler took charge of the rest. He rounded up Ketchum, Leland, and the dripping rats.
I'll keep my eye on them until tomorrow. Then they'll put your clubhouse back where it belongs and clean it up. But I'm afraid you'll still have to give Ketchum the pot-bellied stove.
The next day, the caboose was back, and Dottie was busy designing a new stove for the clubhouse. Montgomery walked over to Bingo.
By the way, what was the bet you made with Ketchum?
Bingo blushed.
I bet him that I could find his hideaway in the swamp. But I couldn't, not by myself. But when the whole gang stuck together, we found it double quick. After all, sticking together is what the get-along gang does best.
They stick together. They get along best when they all stick together. There's no place in the world where I would rather be. With a get-along gang here with me. Sometimes when you're feeling low, you don't know what to do. You sort of wish you had a pal to come and play with you. Get along down to the old caboose, you know who you'll find there. Bingo, Beaver, Zipper, Cat, Little Bernie's Bear, they stick together. They get along best when they all stick together. There's no place in the world where I would rather be. With a get-along gang here with me. Montgomery Moose is a friendly fella, antlers on his head. Rocco Rabbit, he has 2 big ears instead. Dottie Dog is a pretty gal, smart as she can be. All the gang are in the clubhouse waiting for you and me. stick together. They get along best when they all stick together.